Stop them, Batman.
Whatever they are, they're going to regret stepping.
Alright, so for the people who have seen the movie, what do you guys think?
It was awesome.
I really liked it a lot. Again, I'm not going to get into spoilers or anything. It was really good. What I'm hoping that sales for this will make like sequels because Warner Brothers, they love to do these direct-to-video stuff, and like I think if it sells like at least like 500,000, they'll make a sequel. I mean, they still make the Scooby-Doo directed movies, so.
They haven't done the Tom and Jerry ones in a while.
That's probably because it probably didn't get the 500,000. But you're right. I haven't seen Tom and Jerry in a while. But like, I mean, not too long ago I saw like Jetsons versus WWE. I mean, like whatever franchise they have, they'll be like, hey, we're gonna make it. What I was actually happy with this one was I thought this was going to be more towards the Adam West Batman kind of their animated movies, and I was so shocked. One, like when it said PG-13, I was like really happy, and then like the violence in this movie is more violent than any of the live-action movies. So that really shocked me. So like, and I was actually like really happy about that. My big pet peeve though, because I'm a huge Ninja Turtle fan, I felt that they made Batman way too strong, and they should have. That's my only real complaint. But
yeah, Warner Brothers is too sweet on Batman.
Exactly, they are. They're like it was. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, if I may, just so you guys know, the fights between him and Shredder, yeah, they're anything but OP.
Oh yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah. So like yeah. When Batman goes against Shredder, that's actually really cool, and like, I mean, that's like where, yeah, like when Batman first meets Shredder, like Batman like gets pounded by Shredder. It's like, and as is right, it is very OP over.
Yeah, well, on Batman's side.
Yeah. That's what I meant. I meant on Batman's side. Yes. Okay. Like I said, I hope that they're going to make more. What I really want them to actually do is, so if you guys don't know, like what DC does is like every quarter they make a direct-to-video movie and then it's based off the comics. I would love for Viacom, or even if Warner Brothers wants to take over, I don't see that happening, but I would love for them to do that with Ninja Turtles and do it based off the IDW comics, because that would actually be pretty cool, and it'd be a great alternative solution with the current series. So
come on, the current series isn't that bad.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. Let's talk about the current series. Who's actually seen it?
I've seen it.
You've seen it? Okay. So I know you said it wasn't that bad. What about your?
I don't like Splinter in that one.
Okay. I'm gonna agree with you 100% there. I don't like Splinter. Yes.
It's near the first season finale, I think, and Splinter is actually done his crud together. Just so you know.
Yeah. Like the latest episode, he's still kind of like he is like kind of ridiculous, because we find out like stuff. Something that shocked me about that series is the fact that there's continuity, especially like when when they were first showing the episodes, not the first episode, but like the other episodes, like especially like we get like crazy episodes where like the Turtles are trying to return a DVD into back to the store, or like Splinter gets sick, which is like the worst episode like ever. Like I was not expecting them to actually. I thought it was going to be more of like Teen Titans Go or SpongeBob or anything like that. The way I feel about Rise of the Ninja Turtles is that I feel like this, back in 2011, 2012, when Nickelodeon announced that, hey, we're going to make a Ninja Turtle series, this is what everyone was going to fear what the Ninja Turtle series was. And this, to me, this series, it feels like a Nickelodeon cartoon featuring Ninja Turtles.
Ironic, isn't it, in the long run?
What was that? Sorry.
Ironic in the long run.
Yes, very ironic. like things I like about the series. First, the series actually I actually chuckle like a little bit because there's actually some like really smart jokes in there, which I was kind of like I get surprised about, which I really like. And then there's like some funny gags in there too. This series really reminds me of Invader Zim a lot. Yeah, like just because of all the crazy antics, and all the characters are pretty much have the same intelligence level as all the characters in Invader Zim. It reminds me there. And then the animation is actually really good. I actually really love the animation.
I'd actually like to see a movie in that kind of animation style, but it would have to be a damn good movie, like Teen Titans Go to the Movies, surprisingly.
You know what? I really loved Teen Titans Go to the Movies. I saw that in theaters 3 times. I have no shame for saying that. And I don't care for that series too much. Actually, they are making a movie about for this series. Actually, it's going to be on Netflix, and that's as far as I know.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know if it's gonna I don't know how the tone is going to be. I don't know if it's going to be the same tone as the series, or it's going to be like more of an epic tone, or anything like that. But they are doing that. Like I said, the main complaint I've heard about this series, other than the actual characters themselves, is that a lot of people don't like that Raph is the leader.
Very nice.
And I kind of agree with it. I don't know why they made that decision, but they did. I didn't mind him being the oldest one,
Nice.
but him being the leader was kind of weird for me. I think one of my friends, he probably said it best when he said that he treats the series as a comic book that Raphael is writing. And I'm like, as soon as he told me that, I was like, you know what? I can now accept everything that's going on here, because just for everything. Donatello, I really love Donatello's character in the series a lot, just because he is like this condescending person. He knows that he's like smarter than the rest of them, and he really shows it. And I really like his like attitude on everything. I really like his character. Mikey's character is actually kind of fun too, just because he's still the Mikey we know and everything. Like I said, I just wish they made like the characters more intelligent. Like there's too many instances where like they're just kind of not like for example in the series, like it's revealed that Splinter is actually this movie star that they've been watching forever. So and like the turtles don't put 2 and 2 together that that's their dad until later on.
Yeah, until like the latest episode.
Yeah, until the latest episode. I really like the animation, and actually the fight scenes are actually like pretty cool. It's just that we don't get a lot of actual fight scenes in there. But the latest episode, like they did introduce Shredder into the series, so that's actually pretty cool. And I actually really like the way they do Shredder, and I do like that it's kind of doing its own thing. It's not trying to tie down to be based off like the cartoon or the comics. And obviously with this generation, SpongeBob has been on TV for like 15 years now, I believe. And like
15.
What?
It's been on for
20.
longer.
It's been on for 20?
Yeah.
Oh my God, am I that old now? Teen Titans Go is like Cartoon Network's like #1 show right now. So obviously
They aren't printing new episodes for that anymore.
Oh, they're not making new episodes of Teen Titans Go?
They're doing reruns because they've had so many that people think it blends together.
Oh wow! No, I did not know that actually. Wow, but yeah, but that's what this generation kids want, and also these kind of episodes do better in reruns, other than like the kind of like the more serious tones, because what happens with the serious serious kind of cartoon shows like Avatar and Korra, and even like the 2012 Ninja Turtle series, is that you get to people watch it, they watch it once, and then they don't need to watch it again. that like they try to like 24 was a series that was like did really well with ratings, and then they try to put in reruns and no one wanted to watch it because they're like, oh no, I've seen it. I don't need to know. I don't need to see Jack Bauer win the day again. Yeah, like I don't mind April. I don't mind April being African American actually. So like I think it's actually a really cool decision on their part, and actually I like that half the turtles are actually performed by African Americans as well, because every other series has always been white guys. So and especially like with this series, like all the turtles are different species. We kind of like they give that opportunity to make it that we can actually have a diverse cast, which I really like. Is there like any other questions about like Rise of the Ninja Turtles? I'm surprised you guys aren't like groaning as much as I thought you guys were doing.
It's not a bad show.
To be honest, yeah, no, it's not a bad show. It's not what everyone was expecting, it's not what everyone was expecting or everyone being wanting. But honestly, it's a really fun show, and it's one of those that like when they play it on TV, I like to watch it. And for some reason, it's on Nick Jr. I don't know why, but like yes, exactly. Like
it is not a dangerous show.
I mean, but still, it's a TVY7 show, and like he wakes up at like I don't know 5 o'clock in the morning. And so we put like TV for him and everything, and like right after Dora the Explorer is Ninja Turtles. When she first like told me, she's like Nick Jr. is playing Ninja Turtles. I was thinking like, oh no. She went to the Nick channel, and because Nick Jr. shows in the morning, and then they'll go into their shows. No, she was actually on Nick Jr. And like in the beginning of Nick Jr. Like they tell you like, hey, this show's gonna teach you about being friends and working together and what to do with diversity. I mean, when it gets to Ninja Turtles, they're like, no, they just start the show, just play the theme song, and like there's nothing educational here. We don't know why it's on here. We're just trying.
It is a transition show.
Exactly. Here, this is for you parents who had to like suffer with a baby who was screaming for like 5 hours.
Thanks.
Alright, so as I said, this is the Ninja Turtles like 35th anniversary. So if you guys aren't aware, at 1984, they made a comic so basically, 2 unknown people trying to get into the comic book industry. Their names was Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird. They decided to just draw like this satire comic and just try to they try to give it to a lot of the comic book industries, and no one actually picked it up. And so they're like, hey, let's just make it ourselves, and let's see how it goes. And what happened was like, so when they came up with a studio name, they're like, well, we don't really have a studio, because at the time they were actually working at Peter Laird's like basement, So they're like, oh, we're just gonna call it Mirage, because it's a mirage. There is no studio. So around it's around like May 15th or 4th. It's something like that. No one actually like recorded like when the actual date when the first issue came out. But like they went and printed the comics themselves on like newspaper paper, which like the comics was like larger than regular size comics because they didn't know how to print comics. And they print about 300 of them. And to their surprise, they all sold out. And so they had to go and just keep printing more until like they get to a point like where they actually like got like like people want more, so they went and like made a series. And then like Mirage actually like started like picking up like other stuff like Usagi Yojimbo. They made a Flaming Carrot and some of the other stuff. And Mirage like continued on until about 2011, I believe. And that's when Viacom like went and bought them. There was actually a period in that time where they were like debunked because like by the time Power Rangers came out, the Ninja Turtles craze was over. And even Archie, like they ended their run, like, and so at that, and so like, so they kind of ended there. In between that time, Kevin Eastman, he actually sold all of his shares of the Ninja Turtles to Peter Layard, and then like now like then in 2011, Viacom came in, or 2010 I should say, they came in and like, hey, we want to buy this. They bought the whole thing, and the only thing that Viacom does not own is Ninja Turtles Next Mutation. That is, yeah, exactly. Like that. Like I don't think they wanted that in the deal. But yeah, exactly. No one wants to touch it. Currently, Hasbro owns that series. I don't even think Hasbro knows they own that series. But like I mean, it's just it's just out there, and like I believe the show you can still watch it on Netflix. A few years ago, I actually had a kid here, I think it was here in MomoCon or was it the Dragon Con, he asked me like, oh, have you seen that new Ninja Turtle series on Netflix? And I was like, that's not new, buddy. I saw that when it was airing on TV.
Yeah. It was fun to watch in the 1990s, but it has not aged well.
Oh God, no, it has not aged well. So
I didn't even like it back then.
Yeah, actually, a few years ago, I got an autograph from Scott McNeil, who does a bunch of voices. But in Ninja Turtles Next Mutation, he actually was the character Bonesaw. And we bring him this DVD, and the first thing he said was like, "Wait, what? They made a DVD of this?" And then he looks at us like, "You bought a DVD of this?" I mean, and like he was just shy, or we're like, "Oh." I had to explain something like, I'm a Ninja Turtle fan. I have to buy the works with the but I mean, he said, but he just couldn't believe, like I think he wanted to like not know people know that he was actually part of the series. I'm sure a lot of people want to make sure they weren't part of that series. But so 1984, the comic came out. Didn't really. It was more of a cult kind of thing. It wasn't like where it is now. But a few years later, the toy company Playmates, they came in and they're like, hey, we want to make toys of this, and they're like, okay, we love that idea. And they're like, well, how do you tell the turtles apart? And they're like, well, you just look at the weapons. And they're like, no. We can't go and sell 4 exact same toys just because one has a sword and one has a bow staff.
Look at the
yeah, exactly. So they went in there, and so they made them actually have. They forced them to make them have like unique colors, and that's how we get the headband colors. And then Playmates take a step further. And actually, I'm wearing the shirt. Playmates took it a step further, and they actually made all their skin tones different. Animation, when it went to cartoon series, animation did not do that because that is way too much money. And if they did do that, we would have like more bad scenes, like where like the turtles' headbands swapped, and like we'll probably have like different colors, and like they would probably have like Michelangelo with like Donatello's arm or something like that. But yeah, so, but, from the toys, they obviously made a cartoon series that we all know and love, and sing along because you have to.
Right.
Okay.
Never mind. Alright, let's try this again.
Alright, what would you say are your top 10 favorite TMNT characters, with number 1 obviously being the very best character?
Alright. First, I'm gonna do this. because everyone else asked me, not specifically that question, but everyone else asked me which one's my favorite turtle, and I always give a cop-out answer because I don't have a favorite, because I like all of them equally. But the one I relate to the most is Leonardo, because he is the leader and the older brother, and I'm an older brother. So,
Cool.
all right. So one through 4 is those. I'm not putting anyone on top of them.
It's a tie for first place with all of them.
Yes, exactly. Yes, tied for first place for those 4.
Okay.
I'm making it easy because now I have 6 to go. So number 5, easily, Bishop from the 2003 series. Anyone actually know who that character is?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that character. He originally made for the 2003 series, and he was I thought he was the best original character that they made for him. So that'll be my number 5. Number 6 would actually be Splinter from the 2012 series. 6, 7. 7 would be actually Shredder. I've always liked Shredder a lot. 8 would be Krang. 9 actually would be Baxter Stockman. And then 10 would probably be, oh gosh, it's a really hard decision between April and Casey, just because I like both of them equally, but I'll probably give the edge over to April.
All right.
Alright. Any other questions?
Well,
Yeah.
Okay, the Out of the Shadows movie that came out in, what, 2014?
Yeah, 2014.
Did you like it?
2014.
Well-
I thought it was 2016.
Oh no, I'm sorry, it is 2016. The original one came,
Yeah.
the first one came out in 20. Okay, Out of Shadows. I actually really liked Out of Shadows. I thought Out of Shadows was 10 times better than the first movie because they actually kind of got things together. And what I really liked about Out of Shadows was that the first movie, I felt like they were trying to concentrate more on Megan Fox because her name was Megan Fox. And then Out of Shadows came and they're like, hey, we're gonna fix some stuff, which they didn't have to. I mean, they could have totally done Transformers and be like, no, second sales were great. We're gonna make it just like the first one. But no, they actually heard the fan complaints and they made it more focused on the turtles, which I thought was really good. And I really liked that. I liked how they fixed some stuff between just character-wise, for Shredder and that and that stuff. There's no businessman this time, or whatever his name was, Sax or something. The animation looked better, and the fact that we got this pretty cool battle with Krang and the Turtles, which was I really liked, and we finally got Roxanne and Bebop in a movie.
Yeah.
Roxanne and Bebop were hands down the 2 best characters of that movie.
Yeah.
There are some shortcomings from it. One is Casey Jones. I felt like his character, they didn't know what Casey Jones should be, and they just kind of they just let Stephen Amell be Arrow.
Yeah.
I mean that's really what he was. So he was too level-headed to be Casey, and then he was like, I want to be a cop. I'm like, what Casey Jones is? and then the most disappointing part was Shredder puts on his armor, and I'm like, Shredder's gonna go in there, he's gonna fight. Yeah. And then Krang was like, no.
Yeah.
And you come back for a 3rd movie, that's never gonna happen. And that was it. And then, I was those are some the shortcomings from it. But I will say, I was totally expecting them to do the whole cliffhanger ending, because usually what happens whenever there's a movie that outperforms, that what they were expecting was oh, the second one's going to outperform too, and so they were like, we're going to set up for a 3rd movie, And they actually didn't do that, and I actually give them props for that. They actually put a conclusion, and especially like it didn't sell enough to make a third movie. The fact like I don't have to be like this lingering question, what's going to happen to him now, or like like so. I appreciate that for them, but but overall yes, I like the 2016 Out of Shadows movie. Yeah.
You actually wanted to buy the old black and white comics? Do they actually sell them on something?
Oh yes, they sell. There's so many. Okay, so right now, since it's the 35th anniversary, IDW is actually making these like hardcover reprints of them. I think it's like their third reprint of them, like that's going to collect all of them together. You can, like, so those are being produced like now. I want to say it comes out. If they're not out, they're coming out. Thank you, Ellie. Thank you. Are you screaming? I love you. It's your dad. I'm swear I'm not scary. I'm not scary. But yeah. But if you want, if they're too hard to find, or like you just like want to read them, you can actually buy them all, most of them on Comixology. There's a few issues that IDW cannot reprint because of like legal reasons. Like one of them is like issue 8, and because they had a character from another series that they don't have the rights for. But yeah, you can definitely buy that, and they have collections of that. They even have collections. They call it the Works collection, where they reprint those comics, but they're in color. So if you want to see them in color, they actually like colorize them and for you. Those are also available digitally as well.
Why were they not using the weapons?
Parents.
Okay.
Okay, so first movie.
They had them,
First movie came out, and like it sold great because it had the name Ninja Turtles on it, and then, like they're like, oh wow, and like they're like, yeah, I'm totally gonna take my kids and everything. The people who made the movie, they were not allowed to use any of the cartoon characters or anything like that, but they didn't want to use the cartoon characters. They actually wanted to make it, based off the comics and everything, because that was the direction they actually wanted to go.
Okay.
They went into that that direction. They took some elements for the cartoon and everything because people are expecting like the pizza and that kind of stuff. But parents wanted to watch it. They watched it with the kids, and they're like, there's cursing in it. There's violence in it. There's and I've told this story so many times. I did not learn how to cuss until the Ninja Turtles movie. I never heard curse words ever in my life until my parents took me to it was actually not even my parents. It was like my friend's parents took me to the movie, and that's the first time I ever heard it, and I repeated it, and I got in trouble. But yeah, so the reason why the second movie was toned down was because of they didn't make them use the weapons. They want to do more silly slapstick. Was because they want to to appease the parents. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Go ahead.
I didn't learn how to curse until South Park.
South Park. Oh wow.
And Adult Swim. But seriously, the Nostalgia Critic, he ran a review of Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series premiere episode, and he said the one thing that was kind of wrong with all of the Turtles is that they all seem to have the same kind of personality when it comes right down to it. I mean, they are teenagers, and what they're saying and doing is what teenagers do, but still, you can't really tell anything that really separates the Turtles from each other as individuals other than, well, what we already know about them character-wise. Like,
right.
Leonardo's no longer the leader, he's now just a guy with a sword that makes portals. Raphael is now the leader in this series, but I guess it's only because by, I don't know, popular demand or something.
Right. I will say this, if we're basing everything off the first episode, there's no personality. Because one thing the first episode didn't do well was introduce the actual turtles. The first episode of Rise, they went to introduce Baron Draxum and Mayhem and the whole what's it called, the whole like mystic world and everything that we didn't like see too much of yet. But like the turtles themselves in April, like we didn't get an introduction of like how they got mutated. We didn't even get an introduction of how like they met April. So I mean, so for the review of like, hey, for the first episode, like they have like all the same personality. Yes, they really did, but that's just because we didn't really know them too well then. But like now, like we've actually had like episodes that featured them. Like, you know, we've seen Mikey, like, you know, becoming the artist, and we've seen like Leo just kind of just being like the kind of the go-getter kind of guy, and like I said, like Donnie has his own character of his own, like where he's just he treats it like he's condescending, he's smarter than everyone else, and he knows it. So I would say like now they do have like personalities now. It's just that I would say like the first episode didn't do a good representation of like their actual personalities. Let's take it a step further to make all of them just a different species like all together. And I like that. And then like from that song, like from the song or something like that, you see like they all got mutated together. They all came from like the same DNA. That like that's how they're brothers. So I thought it was a cool way to actually go around that. All right, it is 9:30. I want to thank you guys so much for coming out here and everything. Thanks for waking up this early and coming to this panel. You guys are awesome. Hopefully I was entertaining, and or if you guys came in here because you just needed something to do while the dealer's room open, hopefully I did that for you.
Okay.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you. All right, I promise you, we're not going to watch that part of the interview again.
I mean, I think you should watch it 6 more times.
6 more times? All right, I'm going to play it 6 more times just for you.